Therefore, I shall say to you, Chris, I'm sorry, my behavior was terrible, and I want to know who hit me. I can't believe it's already been over a year since that tragic Oscars night, when Chris Rock was struck in the face on live television by Will Smith. In case you're checking out this video from the future on YouTube for some historical information, let me take you back then. Also, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe so you never miss out on any new videos. It's free and helps us bring you tons of content. Chain 2. Referring to Jada's bald head, he was unaware that she had alopecia, a disorder that results in hair loss, which was the cause of her shaved head. Jada rolled her eyes in response, but Will thought it was pretty funny, until he couldn't take it any longer because he finally realized how his wife was feeling. So he sprinted up on stage and gave Chris Rock a good old slap. Chris tried to continue with his jokes, but Will wasn't having any of it. Since that time, it's been a wild ride. Will has apologized numerous times in an effort to make up for what he did to Chris, was pretty quiet about the whole thing right after the slap. He was doing just fine backstage. He even made some jokes about taking a punch from the legendary Muhammad Ali, who Will Smith portrayed in a movie, but the police they were on standby. Some producers claimed that the LAPD were all set to arrest Smith if they had to, but Chris didn't file charges, and Will was free to go on and win an Oscar for his work with King Richard after that night. Will Smith released a statement to apologize for his behavior. He acknowledged that being the subject of jokes comes with the territory, but he drew the line when it came to a joke about Jada's medical condition. He admitted that his emotional reaction was out of line, and that he was wrong. He even expressed feeling embarrassed about it all. Will emphasize that violence has no place in a world filled with love and kindness. And finally, Chris Rock decided to address the slap during his next stand-up performance. He told a Boston audience about what happened. Something came to hear that I had like a whole show of rope for this weekend. And I'm still kind of processing what happened. So that's why not talk about this afterwards. An investigation took place, and the board of directors from the Academy Awards made a decision. They banned Will Smith from the ceremony for a whopping 10 years now. That's a pretty serious consequence. And after everything kind of settled down a bit, Will Smith started to make public appearances. He made one on The Daily Show to promote his movie Emancipation. During the interview, he opened up about the slap incident and described it as a horrific night. He acknowledged that there were many nuances and complexities involved, but ultimately he admitted that he lost control. He mentioned going through something that night and emphasized that that did not justify his behavior at all. He shared that it brought up a lot of personal issues, like the memories of witnessing his father abuse his mother. Will made it clear that the person he became in that moment was not who he wants to be. And then came the highly anticipated comedy special. Everyone was waiting for this. Chris Rock had the opportunity to address the infamous moment when he was slapped on stage at the Oscars. The internet was ablaze with people wondering if the entire special was going to revolve around that slap. One user commented that it's absurd that a man got slapped on national television, and you think he should just shut up about it. He's a comedian using his real-life experience in his art, like comedians always do, knowing that it's not appropriate for him to shut during the Netflix Live special. Rock very cunningly reserved it for the end of his performance. When that time came, Chris Rock's selective outrage and unreservedly attacked Smith, dragging his wife Jada Pinkett Smith, and discussed the couple's marital problems, including Jada's admission of a relationship with singer August Alsina during an episode of Rent Table Talk. Rock said Will Smith engages in selective outrage because everyone knows what happened, and everyone who truly knows that I had nothing to do with it, and I had no relationships. He added that his wife was her son's friend. Rock continued, "Normally I would not talk about this, but for some reason these put that on the internet, that we all been cheated on. Everyone in it had been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television. Chris Rock didn't hold back during that special, and it's undoubtedly one that will go down in history. Boy, did Chris Rock capitalize on it. And now other celebrities have continued to discuss the incident in interviews with the Los Angeles Times. Kevin Rock-Chris' brother stated his doubt over Will Smith's apology, saying that he thought it was phony and just a show of support for the public. Kenny guessed that Smith might have received advice to issue that apologies from his publicist and his staff. One of Chris Rock's other brothers, Tony Rock, expressed very similar thoughts, claiming that he did not accept Smith's apology and described the entire affair as foul now. Kenny elaborated on his viewpoint, stating that he might have actually viewed the apology differently had Smith first expressed regret during his acceptance speech. But because that didn't happen, Kenny felt there was more to it. Many fans also split, though very unevenly, so some were on Smith's side while others were on the other. Chris, a very small percentage of individuals, continued to support Will, as this one person tweeted. Will Smith's smack on Chris Rock helped him become important once more, and he should thank him for that. Jada Smith is permitted to be upset, and Chris Rock is permitted to crack a joke, even if it isn't funny. It should be a day of reflection and a day to remember, not for Will Smith to hit someone on behalf of his aggrieved wife. There were some people who were just done with the whole thing and tweeted who else don't give two shits that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock like a who slaps another man so weak. A lot of other celebrities also commented on the incident. Will Smith begs a grandmother and slaps Chris Rock over a joke about his wife. You were cracked up on the joke, but saw your wife's expression and decided to play the protector over her and walk up and slap Chris Rock, Steve Harvey said. I'm a Christian, yes, but I'm like a really, really underdeveloped Christian. You know, I don't like really do like high-level Christianity down. I'm not like on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm like a 2 because that's the level of Christianity I can work on. When he won the Best Actor award, Sharon Osbourne said, "Everyone stands up. You're such hypocrites. You're going to go home and say how shameful his behavior was, yet you stand up and give him a standing ovation. You know, it's like I've always said in this business. If people could make money off you, if Hitler were still alive today, they would give him a TV show." Finally, Cheryl Underwood said something that everyone was concerned about. I regularly provide updates, where I reveal the innermost secrets of your